Well, I mean, just to put the pun in here, you don't need to stroke his ego anymore. He has a girlfriend to do that.
Very nice.
Boom.
Oh, boy.
Got you. Let's start off with that stick drop.
Oy. Yeah, what about it?
So I see Ian's face, just wondering what it is about. Ian, you were in net, and Rosey, I believe it was that you scored, and you went for the celly, but I don't call that a celly. I think it was a little bit of the drop of the stick, and then your face kind of said it all to me was, oh, fuck.
Well, look, you want to know what? It was something that it was a complete mistake, right? Yeah, I did score. And as I was, being a little bit excited, naturally, since it's ball hockey and I wasn't on skates, there was still a little extra space on that stick to create length, and I knocked the butt end of the stick, and it knocked it right out of my hands. That face I made was because at the end of the day, I came down to the conclusion that I was a little worried that we potentially would get a penalty, but luckily we weren't.
Yeah, it did make a big sound when it hit the floor, though, so I'll give you that.
And I guess Ian has always come to your defense anytime this has been brought up without you in the presence. And Ian will say, as Ian would go, I don't know, man. He just looked like he was celebrating, and that's all that happened.
I'm certain it was an accident.
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
we've all got different points of view, right? Like I looked at, I don't even know if I was playing as much as I just looked over and saw your face in shock. Ian apparently was in his own world, but clearly will defend you. And I believe Bradley, you were on the bench and you kind of were a little bit confused as well.
Well, it was like I said a second ago, the sound when it's just slammed on the ground was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it was loud. I do share Matt's point. I thought we were going to get a penalty. I was like, oh no, not now. We just
yeah,
now.
because I definitely remember the moment that it dropped. I remember looking at Ian and thinking, oh boy, oh man, here we go.
But see, the thing is, it's a good thing you looked at Ian first, because if you looked over at me, I'm sure he would have said, Tobin, relax, calm down. But you looked at Ian, where Ian was just kind of like already relaxed and calmed down.
Exactly. You know what? He was a staple to the team. He brought calmness, and we just needed that in that moment. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll argue too much calmness from Ian.
That's how I stay on top of my game, Tobin.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's how you stay on top of your game, but how would you feel if we had to play that back to back, as you had so boldly suggested?
I thought they just wanted for fun. Like, hey, we have the gym for another hour. Let's just play for fun. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm down. I have another hour in me.
Remember what Matt said, though, like, right when went to Ryan, he goes, you sound like you're off right fucking now.
I went over and told Ian, because I think it was my pads. So I was like, take those motherfucking pads off, Ian. We're done. And he was just like, what's wrong? We can just do it for funsies. And I was like, no funsies.
I was confused. What can I say?
So, I seen the memory of that, I guess, ball hockey coming up a few times. We got lucky. We've won it back and back, and I believe we won another one. All playing different roles. Who would you call your MVP for the first one? I believe Rosey and Ian, you were on that team.
Yeah, I didn't join until the third.
Yeah.
I'll raise my hand for all of these there, Tobin. Number one goalie, so.
I'm with that. I back Ian's answer on that. Yeah.
You know what? I'll debate it. I'll go with Rosey, but I will say that Ian played a very crucial part in the first run. But I loved how after, I believe we took out the first place team, Ian came to me and said, you know what? Covering the puck really does help. And I think my eyes just went out of my head, because I was like, no shit, Ian.
Yeah. You know who helped us out in that second season? Was his name Frazier?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to mention
It's probably the
good
backup for sure.
Of course. Yeah, he bailed us out.
I would get updates from Rosey before I would go to the game, and I'm sure Rosey would hear the call coming through and go like, fuck, it's Tobin. I don't know how to avoid this call. And then he would just be like, is Frazier playing tonight? And I'm like, yeah, he's there. And if there's no night that Frazier's there, he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Carry the team? And I'm like, Talk to you later.
That's good.
I don't
times.
have anything to that. Yeah, good times it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
the days.
And then of course we had Bradley. I love the memory of the. I guess it's the same one where you had your stick celebration. It was that same team that Bradley gets the goal and Nick blows the kiss. But
Yes.
I just love how it was like Bradley scoring the goal and getting super excited, and I was just like,
Well, actually,
Score that?
I wasn't sure if I got credit for it because it was I freshly got in the corner and then it went in off the pad and I just look at Abe going, guess it's mine then.
yeah. And we had poor Steph who was also blocking.
She used to
shots
block. Yeah, she
and
was playing
scoring.
defense with them essentially.
Yeah.
She was by herself there too for the most part. Didn't we only have one girl for most?
Yeah, didn't we?
Yeah.
You had one girl on your team like registered officially, right? At least one girl. You said.
She played the part very well, except we could have used her on defense if she was going to block those shots. The question: what was your biggest high from just winning the ball hockey tournaments? Riley, we'll start with you.
Well, I guess it's like the fact we made it to the final there, because when I played house league hockey, I wasn't very good at that stuff. So essentially, you guys carried me all the way there. It was a great environment. Just, like I even went to a game where I once actually just was injured. I was in the hospital that day. I just went to hang out with everyone because I enjoyed the team so much. But yeah, it was I'm gonna say probably the final, just because the fact that I think everyone made it to that game. It was great to have the whole team there for the end victory.
All right, and we'll go with Rosey next.
I'd definitely say, you know what, there came to a certain point in one of those seasons where I was playing defense with Ian over there, and probably the biggest thing to me was, you know what, we came down, we knew where everybody was, we knew where each other were. We always covered each other. So to me, that was like a big high. It was like, all right, good. I know that I have a partner. I know that I got somebody on the team who I can work with as much as I possibly can.
Oh, flatter Ian's ego more. That's all we need.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And what was yours, Ian?
So it was for our first. We were in the playoffs or just approaching the playoffs for our first win, our first championship, and I think it might have been the second game before the final game, one before the final, and I made an unreal windmill save. I remember that, and then at the end of the game, dying seconds, I dove across and made another crazy save. And if we didn't get those two, then I think we tied that game. But if we lost it, then we wouldn't have made the playoffs or something weird like that. So those saves were. I didn't think I made them, and then the ball wasn't in the net, so I was like, okay, cool. I'll take it.
The bad part about that is like the Carlton videos don't get that one. The one that I see all the time on the Carlton media is the one where it's like, I believe Bradley looked at me right away, and it was like 5 seconds into a game, and they took the shot, and Bradley goes, "Oh, it's this kind of game." And I was
it was right on the face off. The first goal went in the final. I remember the final was like, this is gonna be a long game. This keeps
I stuck it 5-0.
Yeah, but I mean, we pulled it off. So Ian, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not fine. No, it's totally fine, Ian. Which one were you more, I guess, comfortable with, or knew that you could trust them with the ball?
Oh, well, I'm glad I got to go before Rosey for this one. I'd say Rosey for sure. If I did decide to go up, I'm confident that he can get back, and he has a much better shot than I do. So if I ever, if we're ever hanging back there, I can pass to him. He has a good shot on goal. He might score. He has a good chance of scoring. I know he can get back. It's yeah.
I like that one. And Bradley, who did you feel more confident in passing it to?
Really screwing me here, eh?
Yeah, I am.
Well, there's a lot of people on the team that I trusted. Pretty much anyone but me is who I trusted with it. But someone who I think was a good kind of offensive defenseman. So they're both having the puck or ball on both in the offensive zone and defensive zone. So I want to say maybe Frazier or Rosey on that one, because I found you guys both could have offensive input, but you're also good defensive players as well. So you use the ball based on where we are in the court.
And Rosey, who did you feel most confident with?
Geez, you're really leaving me here with scraping the bottom of the barrel. All right. Well, I mean, you know what? Look, absolutely, Ian is definitely one of them. But you know what? If you want me to go ahead and if you want me to, expand on my options, I would definitely go with Bucky. You know what? He's a good hockey player. He knows what he's doing. He's got hands. He's got very good hands, and and his offensive awareness and defensive awareness is always there. So if it's not him, then I would definitely go with Ian as well.
Yeah, if we needed a goal, I think Bucky for sure is that. I'm glad he was mentioned. If you didn't bring him up, I would have. So.
I think so. My memory's a little bit vague, but I will defend that I like Rosie's answer. Because again, Buck has a great shot. I find he's more of a setup, one-time guy. But he blasted, it's in for the most part. I would go with the most one that I feel confident with. If it wasn't Rosey, I would go with Sass. Just because, he could dangle.
Yeah,
he might lose it, but he had that ability that if you had him pissed off, he was taking that ball, and you might take it from him, but he was going to find a way to get it back. And I think he's the only one that I can say that when he's on a line with Polak, which I know is his buddy, but he would also find ways to set up Steph, which I don't know if any of us would be able to give her as many clean shots as she did.
Or just shoot at her. I'm
going to put it on net, Steph. You ready? Oh, yeah. Steph, you blocked it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I forgot about Sass. He was pretty good, eh? Him and Frazier, our second championship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Sass was a big deal. And I think in our first one, we had a guy named Keith. I think it was like Allen or whatever his name is. I mean, he scored the one that I think tied it. But yeah, he was a dandy player as well.
Yeah.
And of course, I will give a shout out here as well to Nick because he was our bodyguard through it all.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you had a question later talking about someone's good character, I was just saying Nick.
There's also
I will give credit for keeping it loose. Like if you guys were uptight, Nick had the ability to come in and make things loose. If someone came in and charged Rosey, not saying that he couldn't hold his own, but if you came in and charged, Nick had the ability to kind of push him around, but also know to toe the line. I think there may be one game that he had a penalty, but I would have taken the penalty because I believe he was just tripping a guy and he shoved him. Nick shoved him back, and then Nick said, "Let's go." And the guy was kind of walked away, but Nick gave him a few extra shots. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Nick was more or less saying to him, "Don't fucking push us around." I'll bring up this one to you, a little bit out of the hockey-related questions. But guys, what have you been doing to stay sane during quarantine here?
Well, I am essential service worker. We deliver to all hospitals and a lot of all the hospitals in the valley and in the city as well. So I'm still working. When the first shutdown happened, I think it was like March 11th or 12th when that happened. That week I was working at least an hour of overtime a day. My responsibility at the work is when they try and deliver something, and if they're closed or can't receive it, it comes to me. So that week I usually scheduled to 7:30. I think I left after 8 o'clock for the next 6 work days. So for me it's kind of business as usual. I'm taking I'm trying to keep myself inside as best I can. If I don't have to go out, I won't go. But I work, so I have to go in and work though. But aside from so today I haven't really gone out. That sucks though, because here the weather's been looking great some days. So you kind of want to go outside and have a pint on the driveway with your neighbors, but you gotta keep your distance.
And I'll go with Ian next for this one. What have you been doing?
I've been working. I am, I guess, also part of the essential service stuff. I do a lot of work with mines, civil engineering, in case everybody forgot. But yeah, I do a lot of work with mines, and I'm working from home, so I'm stuck in this kind of crappy 2-bedroom apartment for 8 hours a day of work, and then 8 hours a day of play, and then 8 hours a day of sleep. So it's exciting.
Yeah, well, hey! Don't sell yourself short. You got a girlfriend there with you, right? Okay.
No, she is a nurse, so we've been
Oh,
socially,
fuck.
which is very exciting.
Well,
Yeah,
for going through this though.
yeah, it's she tells me she's not worried about it, but I don't know. It's definitely something that
Yeah, maybe it's just to put on a brave face there.
exactly, yeah. But no, I've been playing a lot of games, and watching a lot of shows. It's good times. A lot of relaxing. Maybe too much.
And Rosey, what have you been doing, Rose?
Well, you know what, just Tobin, before we get into me, Ian, I just want to definitely say, you know what, thank you for at least, or for being with somebody who's putting and going out every single day and dealing with this big issue here.
You're a good guy, Rosey.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Ian. But no, well, I've like these two other gentlemen here, I've been working every single day. I work for an embassy.
When this is all over, when COVID is over, what is like the first thing that you guys are gonna do? Nothing. He's gonna do the exact same thing you're doing now.
I think I know what Ian's gonna do.
I'm gonna go spend time with my girlfriend. That's
a little stress relief, eh?
When you phrase that, what am I gonna do? I had a very hard time not saying just one word there, but that's okay.
Well, if you have any vacations on this, just like you should take it, and you and your girlfriend just like, even go away somewhere to spend that time you lost with her, right? So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do something for sure.
Ian has it already mapped out and planned.
Well, I'm not an expert on Sudbury. I've been through it a few times, twice when I was driving out west, but there ain't too much going on there to do for a lot of stuff, right?
There's not much, and there's even less now. So.
I feel like if you get if this gets uploaded on like the Tobin Tonight thing, the first thing it's going to be labeled as is just Ian gets bullied about having a girlfriend.
Hey, I'm okay. If you guys want to pick on me for that, that's fine by me.
Yeah. Ian will just come back in a few weeks' time on like a video stream, be like, okay, now you tell them what you told me and told her. She's in the room right now and she wants to hear what you guys were bullying me about.
Yeah, she does wear the pants. So that's okay.
Okay, he admitted to it. Okay.
Rosie's just nodding his head, and Rosie's like, I'll let that go. I can't believe I gave this guy all the compliments in the world only for him to say that line.
Look, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, again, he can say whatever he wants. It's not the end of the world.
He's just trying to not get in trouble, Rosey. Like, it's fine. It's fair.
Look, and he's a smart man. He's a smart man because, as far as I'm concerned, a happy spouse is a happy house, right? So you know what? He's a smart. He's using his head.
Yeah, as I can hear in the background, your parents arguing there. What do you mean it's your turn to take the garbage out?
Right. Yeah. Right. No, but to answer your question there, Tobin, of what we're going to be, or at least what I'm going to be doing after all this is over, is I'm going to be hopping on a train. I'm going to go somewhere. Where? Who knows?
Because I was going to mention that, like, you were in, like, school for, like, was it, like, the police academy stuff? Are you still doing that?
So what's happened with that now is, no, when I left, I did go to Regina for the RCMP. Obviously, unfortunately, things didn't work out at that time, and you know what? I'm actually kind of grateful that they didn't. There was still a lot to learn and a lot of time to mature. Did that entire process start up again? Absolutely, yes, it did. So now I'm starting to be at the point where they need to make the decision on when I have to leave to go back to the RCMP. But no, you know what? For the time being, I'm here in Ottawa. And definitely when this is over, I am going to go to Montreal, visit family, stay there, visit, and, just enjoy the time that you have with them.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good answer. I mean, I would have guessed somewhere in Montreal just because of the connection there. But Bradley, last word there.
Well, again, I kind of do it. Like, my hours at work hasn't been adjusted, so I'm still doing my day to day. But I'll definitely try and, I have some friends I haven't been able to see for a while. Definitely gonna try and maybe reconnect with them at least. Maybe we all just hang out because we haven't seen each other for so long. So when that's over, I'm pretty sure my friends and I'll be like plan on just getting a get together for just being so wild. Cause a friend of mine, I'd have almost noticed to be at my house, like, hey man, want to go for coffee? Sure, I'll be out. We'll meet up at the Tim Hortons in Blair in 15 minutes. At this point, I can't do that, right? So just seeing just a few other people, not instead of just my colleagues every day. It'd be nice just to be around everyone, and then we can share the stories of what we did during the whole experience, right? So there's I'm looking forward to just that, just because that was the one thing that's been really taken away from me when it comes to this whole situation. So
Yeah, no, I mean, so each one of you have like your own plans, obviously, which I think is really, really cool. And it kind of explains how, it's all affected us. Like, we've all been affected the same way, but again, when it's all over, everyone goes back to normal. I guess any closing thoughts, guys? How did you find the video chat? Did it kind of ease you a little bit to know that now you have other people to talk to?
I was already eased. I think that's my permanent state. But
Oh, shut up, Ian.
But it's good to see your faces again. That's for sure.
Absolutely. You know what? I agree with that. You know what? It's seeing three people who I haven't seen in a while, especially Ian and especially Tobin. You know what? Who've left. Who left us behind. One for Sudbury, which I'm not going to make any comment on. It is worse than Ottawa. Let's face reality. But hey, you know what? But there's reason, and we understand. And likewise, it's the same thing with you, Tobin. But no, you know what? It's definitely nice to see a change of pace, change of faces, and it's always nice to catch up with good old friends.
For sure.
Yeah. My same thought here is just, like I mentioned, I hadn't been able to see a lot of friends that I would normally hang out with. So to be able to see you guys, especially you, Ian, haven't seen you since like what, 2017 or something like that, 2018.
That's the fucking place.